Lena and her friends had dared each other to explore the forbidden catacombs of Paris, but somewhere among the winding tunnels, she had lost them. Alone and breathless, she stumbled into a narrow passage whose stones looked recently disturbed. "Help me, I'm trapped," cried a frail, trembling voice through the freshly uncovered gaps in the rubble. The words echoed eerily through the dimly lit passageways of the Paris Catacombs. Lena froze, her hand still clutching a bone fragment she had inadvertently dislodged. Sweat dripped from her forehead, trickling down her temples as she strained to listen, hoping she'd imagined it. "Please help," the voice pleaded again, clearer this time, carrying the unmistakable pitch of a young girl. Lena's heart hammered against her ribcage, dread tightening her chest. It was impossible. She had accepted a foolish dare from her friends, venturing deep into the restricted tunnels beneath Paris, ancient chambers lined meticulously with human remains. No child could survive down here. She hesitated, leaning closer to the opening, her flashlight shaking. "What are you?" Lena whispered, her voice quivering with fear. "I'm trapped. It's dark. Please get me out," whimpered the girl. Her voice carried an eerie innocence, unsettling in its clarity. Every instinct screamed at Lena to flee, but the desperation in the child's voice clawed at her, urging her to dig deeper. Yet something felt terribly wrong. These tunnels were centuries old, sealed deliberately, marked by symbols intended to ward off evil. Ignoring her unease, she began shifting more bones and rubble, prying loose another stone. It cracked heavily against the dirt floor, kicking up choking dust. "Hurry," urged the voice, growing impatient, almost agitated. She reached into the darkness, pulling aside chunks of earth until the hole widened enough for her arm to slip through. "Grab my hand," Lena instructed urgently. Silence followed, stretching painfully. Then something cold brushed against her fingertips, slimy and lifeless. Lena recoiled sharply, her breath catching. "What was that?" she gasped, pulling back violently. The girl's voice giggled softly, losing its frightened tone, shifting into something sinister. "You freed me," the voice whispered coldly, slipping into a guttural growl. "But not yet completely. Let me out." Lena's pulse quickened, blood turning icy in her veins. "What are you?" she demanded, her voice shaking with fear and anger. "Older than your city, little girl," the voice hissed. "Release me entirely, and perhaps I'll spare you." Panic surged through Lena. She recalled vague stories she had heard, whispered warnings about horrors sealed beneath Paris. Tales she had dismissed as urban legends. "No," she whispered hoarsely, scrambling to replace the stones. "Stop," shrieked the voice furiously, echoing with unnatural force. The chamber trembled, bones rattling violently. Lena's breath came in ragged gasps as terror consumed her. She clawed desperately at the heavy stones, piling them clumsily, sealing the gap as quickly as she could. The voice shrieked in frustration, echoing with deafening resonance, filling Lena's ears with agony. Shadows danced wildly around her, dark shapes forming and dissolving against the tunnel walls. "Fuck this," Lena yelled, sheer panic overtaking her as she pushed against the rubble with all her strength. Her hands scraped and bled, driven by frantic desperation. "You cannot seal me again," roared the voice, deeper and malevolent now. You are too late. A shadow emerged, crawling slowly from between the gaps Lena struggled to close, forming a distorted, skeletal hand wrapped in tattered skin. With a final shove, Lena pressed the last stone into place, crushing the sinister hand beneath it. A scream echoed from within, sending a shockwave through the tunnel. She staggered backward, breathing heavily, drenched in sweat. Silence enveloped the passageway again, heavy and suffocating. Lena stared at her shaking hands, feeling her sanity fraying. Behind her, movement stirred in the darkness. Lena spun around, eyes wide with terror. Shadowy hands burst from the earth and bones beneath her feet, wrapping around her ankles like iron shackles. No, Lena screamed, struggling uselessly as she was dragged down. Earth and bones swallowed her rapidly, filling her mouth, smothering her cries. Now we're both trapped, whispered the voice mockingly from the shadows, layered with wicked satisfaction. Forever. Moments later, the tunnel returned to eerie stillness, leaving behind only disturbed earth and freshly sealed bones, marked ominously, awaiting the next unfortunate visitor.